Very briefly, I want to, and maybe in a few minutes, I just want to highlight one of the things that brought me here actually to this stage with Wahid. Throughout my life, one of my interests was in assisting and aiding the Muslim communities, and myself, of course, and individuals across the world, in being more self-sufficient, in relying less on active work or active fundraising and so on and so forth. And I was lecturing on these topics in recent years, and subhanAllah, it was almost coincidental, but we believe it's qadr, that I was speaking at a place in which actually Brother Salahuddin was there, and then we ended up realizing we're doing the same thing, we might as well collaborate. What brought me here is the realization that in many of our communities, there is a stigma around and a misunderstanding around what wealth actually means in Islam. The concept of mal. The idea for some Muslims that having a lot of wealth is problematic, without realizing that the tool itself is what we should focus on. And I'll give you an example as an analogy. For those of you who have cars, how many people here have cars? Okay, mashallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put barakah in your cars. For those of you who have cars, do any of you have evil cars? Raise your hand if your car is evil. No? Nobody's car is evil here? What if somebody used your car to run over somebody else? Or they intentionally committed a crime? Is your car evil now? Yes? No? Somebody said yes. Why is the car not evil? It's just a vehicle. It's a tool. You can also use that car to go to the mosque. You can use that car for many righteous things, right? So the car is a tool. But with wealth, for some reason, in many cultures, it's stigmatized, and the idea is that having wealth is problematic, or earning a lot of wealth is problematic. And this is not the reality. We'll go back to the time of the Prophet ﷺ. The concept of mal, wealth, in the Quran. We look at Abdurrahman bin Auf radiallahu anh. We look at Uthman bin Affan radiallahu anh, 2 of the 10 who were given glad tidings of Jannah. They were given glad tidings of Jannah. They were extremely wealthy. In fact, some of the scholars, when it comes to calculating how much Abdurrahman would have in our times with inflation and everything else, they say at minimum he would be perhaps a multi-millionaire with $160 million, and some of the scholars said it's actually much more than that. All of Medina was connected to Abdurrahman bin Auf's business empire. Some of them said he would have $520 billion, so he would have been the wealthiest man alive today, radiallahu anh. And yet Abdurrahman did not let that wealth control his heart. If the wealth, if that tool, if that car, if that career, if that game, the video games, whatever it is you're spending time on, if the thing that you're using as a tool is taking you away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then it becomes problematic. But wealth inherently is not evil, nor is it good. It has a lot of good uses in society. We can help a lot of communities through it. We can help our children through it. We can help our parents through it. So there's a lot of khair that comes from it. Realizing this point, this premise that wealth inherently is not good or evil, it's important for us to also be more self-sufficient. There is no problem with gaining more wealth or pursuing more wealth as long as it's not controlling us, distracting us, as long as we're utilizing it properly. Allah will ask us about every dollar we earned and every dollar that we spent. And for me, this notion, especially in the Muslim community, is one that we need to emphasize more so that we are able to build more institutions, more organizations, so that we can free up more of our time, be with our families, pursue the things that we really care about. Wallahu alam. So these are just some brief, random opening remarks, and I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide us to that which is best. Allahumma ameen.